What's up, guys? Figured we'd start doing housekeeping right at the front of the show, so the people who don't quite make it to the end sometimes can hear these things, and for the people who already know, you can just skip through it till you hear the music, and the show will just continue on as usual. So with that said, here's housekeeping. You can follow us on Facebook, both JAMUP and Matt Archer Media, if you want everything Matt Archer Media, Ohio WrestleCast, Bunch of Potheads Podcast, JAMUP, and whatever future things we may do. Just everything all together. You can go ahead and follow us at facebook.com/MattArcherMedia. JAMUP is also on Facebook. If you purely just want to follow JAMUP and Jeffy, facebook.com/JAMUP Podcast is where you can find us there. Go ahead and like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. All audio versions of the podcast are available on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcast providers. If we're not for some reason, shoot us a message. We'll do our best to get on there for you. Video versions of the podcast are available at youtube.com/MattArcherMedia. Come over, see our pretty faces. Like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. You'll get notified every time a new episode comes out. If you want a t-shirt, you can go to mattarcher.threadless.com for the time being. You can follow us on Instagram as well, at Matt Archer Media. Jeffy's on there. You can follow him at Jeff Hughes MMA. Damn. I'm also on there at Western Jesus on Instagram. That might be it, Stitch. What do you think? Here's the show. Ding dong. The bitch is dead. The bitch is dead. The bitch is dead. Ding dong. The winter bitch is dead.
Thank God.
All right. With that said, welcome to JAMUP number 25. We are one quarter way to 100. I am Mark Thomas. This is MMA superstar Jeff Lights Out Hughes. And this is JAMUP number 25.
This is my claw.
Yeah, Jeff's a little worse for wear than he was last time. I guess with that, fight update this week is all it's post-fight update is what
Post-fight update, yeah. As you can tell, I had fractured my hand.
Yeah.
In the fight I just fought in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
I fractured it in the second round of the fight, so I didn't feel it until the third round, and I landed a right hand on him, and I could tell it hurt me more than it hurt him.
But you broke it in the second round?
Yeah.
When?
Second. One of the punches.
Just you're not sure which one?
Yeah, I had to go back and look and see when I exactly broke it. I don't remember. I remember throwing a punch going, ooh, but like nothing to the point where I was in pain, and then the last right hand I landed was like, holy shit, that hurt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was funny when they cut off your wraps. Like we sat there and watched it, and it literally just went and got.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the audio listeners, it grew within 40 seconds, dude. It was like 3 times bigger than
normal.
It was crazy. It was like you can tell like all the blood just rushed to it, and it started to grow, and it was hard as a brick.
It was just waiting to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw the picture. I think Rachel maybe posted the picture, or maybe it was your sister. I can't remember. Of them taking the wraps off. I think after the fight, where you're just kind of sitting there like this, or maybe they were putting it on. And it was before the fight.
Yeah, it was before the fight. They put it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or no,
yeah.
Jackie
posted the
picture, and then there was a big quote on it. That's what it was.
Yeah. How adorable.
It was. That was nice.
But they gave me 2 options. So it's been a game of like cat and mouse, man. It's just like going here, going there. So first off, they sent me to a X-ray place all the way up in Middleburg Heights.
Okay.
And I get there. It was last Tuesday, so a week ago, and I'm expecting to get X-rayed and have a doctor come and look at me and all that. And literally, all this place is a big room and has a big X-ray machine in it.
All right.
And I was like, okay, so what now? They're like, oh, we'll read them to you. We'll have somebody read them and then we'll let you know. And I'm like, I know my hand's broke.
Yeah.
So I called the UFC and they they set me up with another place down here in Canton. called Spectrum, and I went there Thursday night, and they read my X-rays. They said no fracture. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Wow.
But they set me up with a hand specialist on Monday, and then they re-X-rayed it, and the hand specialist saw that it was broke.
Huh.
Right.
That's why a second opinion is important, people.
Well, we went and had a third opinion.
Oh, wow.
So today I went up to a place up in Fairlawn called Crystal Clinic, and they re-X-rayed it, and now I'm in this cool-looking splint thing.
Yeah.
And so the two options they gave me were we can do surgery on it, and I may never be able to close my fist again. Obviously not an option.
Yeah.
Let it heal. My knuckle is going to be about 4 millimeters lower than it used to be.
4 millimeters, like...
into my hand.
Okay, just for scale purposes, like what, like...
I would say it's probably I don't know. I'm going to probably butcher this, but he drew it on a piece of paper. It looked like about a quarter of an inch, maybe a little bit more.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Is that a disadvantage, you think, for fighting?
No, I don't think it'll be a disadvantage at all. And so what scared me was when I went to when I saw the first hand specialist. I was like, I have to close. I don't think he exactly understood what I do. I said, I have to make a fist. This is my life. This is my job. This is how I make my money. Yeah. And he kind of like gave me the, oh, and I was like, that ain't going to work. I literally said, I will cut my finger off if I have to.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking. They thought I was messing around. I'm not joking. I would have cut my finger
there's
off.
a one-arm fighter.
Right.
You could have a 9-fingered fighter.
Right. I would have cut it down to the knuckle, and that's how I would fight from now on. If I could never, because my other fingers work just fine.
Yeah.
But luckily I don't have to do that, right? As I think. I don't think I do.
So the third opinion did confirm that it is broken.
It is broke. He was another hand specialist. And then they're putting me through physical therapy, so I have to go once a week to this place, and they gave me some different motions to do, like 6 times a day, like shit like this, and then like this. So this is as far as I can make a fist right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it should be I should recover 100%. Just have a lower knuckle.
Damn. Damn. Well, that's good. Yeah. Fuck, dude.
So, man.
So how you didn't feel it during the fight really at all? Like I know
just
you said
until
you noticed
the very
it,
end, yeah.
But
very end.
Damn. All right. So it wasn't hindering you really. I mean, your punches might not have been hitting as hard. Because
so I'm thinking, because I definitely went back to the third, between the second and third round, I knew something was wrong with my hand, but it didn't affect me to the point where, like, I still threw it. And the last one is when you started seeing me, I started throwing more left hooks to set up that high kick I hit him with in the last 40 seconds.
Yeah, you guys kind of traded kicks.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think, so I'm happy with everything, as happy as I can be.
As it panned out, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you had hurt your hand at all until your post.
Mm-hmm. So when I posted it, is it broke or not?
I was I took it from 18% to 19% on no, because I was just like hoping for the best, It's like, no, it's not broken. Fuck it.
Yeah, but I was hoping. When I got that first report that it wasn't broke, I was like, okay. Now I thought it was just jammed, which technically, it is.
I've stoved my fingers and toes and shit all the time.
I almost had Rachel pull on it, like just literally pull it back into place.
Yeah,
but she started pulling a little bit, and it was like pop, 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 pop. I was
like, nope.
All right. She's like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I was like, just do it.
Things are separating that shouldn't be. Damn, man.
So yeah, but
But other than that,
fuck it.
That's really all the I mean, I know your nose was a little cut up. That didn't break, obviously. I'm sure you would have, but it was bleeding pretty good there.
Yeah, it bled a little bit. He caught me with a good jab.
He's
as
good
I was
at
coming
cutting
in.
You.
Yeah. Oh God, he is.
No.
He's all bone. Everything on him is bone.
No toenail cuts this go around.
But yeah. So what did you think of the fight?
I thought it was a hell of a fight. It went all 3 rounds. It's
almost like we're perfect for each other. Like we
you guys
fight. It's time. Sorry to cut you off, but every time we fight is like we just throw heat.
It's a battle.
It's a battle.
Yeah. it's like two demigods going at it.
It's definitely a battle. I think too is this happens once in a while. I think both of us are pretty high level guys, and I think this probably won't be the last time we fight either.
Oh, I'm sure it's not. I was honestly surprised that they were acknowledging the fact that it was a rematch. I thought that like they might be like WWE and be like, nope, this is our thing.
They kind of are when it comes to like their competition, but they have a good relationship with LFA.
Yeah.
So and LFA is not on the same level or anything. Maybe if it was like their biggest competition, like Bellator or something, they probably wouldn't mention it. They might even at that, But dude, it was such a. The fight was so fun, man. That was like one of the funnest times of my life.
It looked like it. I recorded a reaction video. I didn't put it out though. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. It was fun.
But
awesome.
there was a point where I'm just like, I stop and I just start smiling. I was like, he's loving it. Like, look at him. He's having the greatest time of the world. And I might still put it out. I just don't.
Yeah.
But I figured we'd do this first and talk about it and then tell people I'm putting it out.
Right.
But not only that, they might want to rewatch it again at this point. But because there are like the fight's cut up quite a bit as you saw because I had to. That's the second cut. I had the whole fight. So the first one
did somebody come and say, hey, you can't use this, or
well, like no, nobody knocked on my door or like anything.
No, I'm saying like somebody email you or
what it is it'll just tell you once it's uploaded and it's processed and goes because it takes it a while to go from like 240 or 360p to 1080p. So by the time it gets into 1080p, they'll notify you if there's any copyright infringement things on there. And then most of the time, it's just like, it's fine. You just won't make any money off of it. But we're not making any money off of it anyway because we don't have enough subscribers anymore. As of a couple years ago, they changed that. But it just tells you it's blocked, but it's okay. People can still watch it. You're just not going to make money. Or they're going to tell you, no, it's blocked in these countries. No one can see it in these countries. In our case, for the UFC, it's blocked in all countries. So... Really? Only I could watch it, and apparently you, or no, because I sent you the second one that was okay.
The second one, yeah.
But no, you couldn't even watch it if I sent you the link. You know what I mean?
Wow, they're like that, huh?
Yeah, and I mean, it's probably because I put the whole fight in there, and I had the original audio like lowered in the background. And the one I sent you, I took the original audio completely out, and all you heard was what it was getting off the speakers from the television.
Gotcha.
But I'm talking about something that people haven't even seen yet. But they come back and watch it again, and I'll give you the scoop. You'll hear the scoop.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how that works. But my whole point in saying that is that at one point in that, I noticed just how much fun you're having because you guys are literally like giving each other five and like smiling at each other. I think you guys even talk to each other.
Oh yeah, the whole time we did,
which is kind of becoming a thing. I've been seeing people like a lot of fighters saying shit to each other in the fight, but my opinion on the fight, though, is I honestly think you won the fight. I do. You won round 2 and 3 for sure.
Yeah.
By the second half of round 2, it was your round, in my opinion.
I even think because in the second round, the first minute, nothing really happened, and from 4 minutes on, all I think he landed was a good jab that almost put me on my ass.
Yeah.
But I even caught myself, so it didn't count as a knockdown or anything like that. So, but like I said, kudos to him. He fought a great fight. He came out on short notice. I didn't fight my best fight, but I think a lot of people agree that the judges didn't get it right this time.
No, I don't think they did either. I mean, the reason he won the first round, I think, because he did win the first round.
He won the first round, yeah.
Is because he came out guns blazing. He was very active. Yeah, and he did win the first round.
I agree.
But because that happened and he did that, he was gassed out by the end of the second round.
Right.
And even in that video, in the reaction, which you guys will see,
he started slowing down, yeah.
If you look at him before they fight for the third round, and they show a shot of you, and you're a little tired, but you're ready to go. It's like you're still fresh.
Mm-hmm.
You look at him; he looks like he's been through the ringer.
Yep.
He's like swaying around. He's like breathing heavy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he was definitely. He came out more gas than I did.
Yeah, and 2 more rounds, if it was the same as last fight,
Right.
you would have had the fight for sure, no
Right.
doubt, unanimous. And like I text you the next day, I said, split decision says a lot. You know what I mean?
Right. It means it was a close fight.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I'll give him that. I think it was a close fight. I just think the judges got it wrong. But there's nothing you can do about it now. You just go back and get better.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we'll probably meet again. And he's a good dude. We get along just fine. Like we were talking, maybe we might even train someday down the road.
Yeah.
You know, he might come in and train with us or whatever. For just to do some cross training. But man, the experience, it was. I mean, from the time, like it was so weird, it was so different than any other fight for me. Like people get these like pre-UFC jitters and stuff like that. Like I was just so ready, man.
Really?
I could not wait to get out there. So like I asked the one guy before, the door's already open, so people are starting to file in. Before any of the fights started, I was like, can I go out and just see the arena? I don't want to be the first time I see the arenas when I'm walking out.
Yeah.
And I walked out there and was like, holy shit. This place is fucking huge.
Yeah.
And the lights are going, and you can see the cage is lit up, and it was so cool. And then you show up and you walk into the locker room, and they got your shit hanging there. Everything has your name on it.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. Everything is like custom made. Like
all got your name on it.
Yeah.
Like I saw the picture you posted of like all your gear. I think actually maybe it was like a little video or something you took.
Yeah.
But you just panned it across everything. It's like that's so cool.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
he's made it.
So
dude.
fucking awesome.
Like I was just like, I want one of everything. But
and they gave you so much, dude. Like so when the first day we got there, they're like, here's your Reebok gear. And I was like, cool. And it was like a big duffel bag, and it was just nothing but Reebok shit. And I'm like,
that's fucking sweet.
Where's my? I was asking, like, where's my fight stuff? And they're like, oh, you got to try it on, make sure everything. Dude, Reebok has guys there with all of our fight stuff, like the walkout gear, the fight stuff, and you have to go and try it on. And if it doesn't fit or something, you want something changed or altered on it, they'll do it right there. They're there all week with you.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what do they have, like their own little trailer where they do this shit?
They used one of the rooms at the hotel, like conference rooms.
Oh, so they just haul all that shit. And that's
yeah.
Because that's all like heat transfer stuff. That's like vinyl words and stuff on like
they
vinyl.
have presses and all that stuff there. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So
damn, this is the big leagues,
dude.
No
It was.
doubt.
You could definitely tell it was. I was like, that part got to me a little bit. Like holy shit, man. Like you don't go higher than this, No.
Yeah. You're at the top.
But man, once my music hit, man, I was so fucking ready to get out there.
That's one of my questions I've written out. Did you pick your music?
Yeah.
Like, did you specifically pick that song?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought they had like owned rights to certain songs, and you had like a choice of those songs.
Maybe they do have some songs you can't play. But yeah, I just said Red Hot Chili Peppers Higher Ground, and they said okay, no problem.
Cool.
Yeah.
Before I forget, because I almost did, I should have asked it earlier, but I got a questions from Sprinkles, Eric Perry.
Sprinkles.
He wanted to know, because you gave him a kick to the gut, essentially the body, that hurt him really bad.
No, that was a punch to the body.
Right
hand to the body.
What? Okay, well, you would know you did it, but like, anyway, why? It was apparent that you hurt him real bad. Why didn't you keep going with more body shots? Just couldn't.
Don't know.
Just in the moment.
Just in the moment, yeah. Because like, I hit him to the body with that right hand. He started backing up towards the cage, and you could tell on his face he was hurt. I threw a big overhand right and went for a takedown. I don't know why I did.
I remember the takedown.
I should have just threw like a flying knee at his body or like pivoted, hit him with another big right hand. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just heat of the moment.
I had him on the cage for a minute too. You probably could get him just didn't cross your mind.
He slipped the first right hand, and I just
shit.
It was just that's one thing I got to work on is just because they're backs to the cage doesn't mean I need to go for a takedown. Yeah, and that's something I've had an issue with my whole entire career. Like, they're right where I want them. Better go for a takedown.
Yeah.
Instead of going, okay, he's on the cage, I better start because there's nowhere to back up when you're on the cage.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go back any further. So if I would have threw a 5-piece or whatever, could have been a completely different fight.
No, you're right. Yeah, shit. Well, that's good to know, man. Oh, there you go, Eric. But yeah, what else? How else was it? You meet anybody cool?
The next day I got to meet Junior.
Santos.
Yeah, that's one of my heroes. I even walked out. He was like by himself getting caught. There was like a little Starbucks in the hotel. He's standing there, and I was like, "This is my choice. This is my chance."
Yeah.
And I like walked up to him. I was like, "Hello, just wanted to say congratulations, and not to sound really weird or anything, but like I grew up and I wanted to be you." Type shit, and he was like, "He's nicest dude." Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sorry I didn't get to watch your fight. And I was like, it's fine,
Yeah.
Don't worry about
that you were a fighter. Like he knew.
Well, you could tell from my face and my hand was all wrapped up. But yeah, I mean, we saw each other a lot during the week. Like we had to go in the same rooms and stuff like that. And I was just like, hey, I don't ever do this, but do you care if I take a picture with you? And he's like, absolutely. And then afterwards, he's like, hey, heal up, you'll be back. Super nice guy.
That's awesome.
I got to meet everybody on the card. Derrick Lewis and like Ben Rothwell was in the same workout room as me throughout the week. And
actually, I remember Sarah Kuhn and her boyfriend came over to watch it after it had happened because I had recorded it. Don't tell anybody. And she walked in during the Ben Rothwell match, and he had his back to her. All she could really see is that it was a dude with
bald guy with her beard.
Yeah. She's like, oh, it's happening. Like, am I missing it? I was like, no, it happened like hours ago. That's Ben Rothwell.
Somebody said online, I think that I'm a cross between Ben Rothwell and what's his name, Tim Boach. I'm a love child between Ben Rothwell and Tim. He fought on the card also.
Okay, I can't.
There's a lot of white bald guys with beards. They said.
Okay, so the name doesn't give me a face, but Ben Rothwell, I could definitely see the resemblance.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so that was cool.
So she's not the only one.
Any other questions about it?
I had a bunch. Well, I wrote down a bunch of things. Not all of it has to do with that, but I don't know if you read my little comment.
I just kind of read the topics.
You answered the entrance music one I had. They did a. You know how they'll do video game fight simulations for upcoming fights and shit? Somebody did one for you and Mo Greene for this fight.
Really?
And I watched it, and you lost the fight.
Damn it.
Yeah. And I watched it before the fight, and I was like, fuck that. I'm like, fuck
Did somebody
win.
Somebody create me?
Yeah. And they created Mo Greene to look nothing like you guys. Absolutely nothing. So anybody who wants to know, just look up... if you just type in Jeff Hughes, it'll come up eventually on the list. But Jeff Hughes versus Maurice Greene, I'm sure one of them will be that fight simulation. But that's kind of a cool.
It's kind of cool. Yeah.
Kind of a sign that you made it. Some random person out there in the world.
Somebody is looking at the card and just making all these guys that aren't in the video game.
Exactly, trying to get like a couple hundred views real quick. But,
that's so cool.
So you helped that guy.
But I fucking lost. Damn it.
Not only that, but your win on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series is a free fight on the UFC fucking YouTube channel, which is cool. Yeah. You are forever
on the
UFC YouTube channel, unless it all goes up one day.
Did you hear what the UFC did? Starting, I think, today.
What do you mean?
So they have a deal with ESPN Plus.
Yes.
So now, in order, kind of like the network, and I think they're heading in this direction though. From now on, you have to have ESPN Plus to order the pay-per-views.
Really?
Yeah. But the pay-per-views have went down in price, and hopefully, eventually, it turns into the network where they just are. You pay for the subscription, and there's no pay-per-views anymore.
So, where do you watch the pay-per-views now? You buy them through the cable service?
Yep, buy them through the cable service.
So, if you have ESPN Plus, you can watch them on the ESPN Plus?
You still have to order them, though.
But you still have to pay for
You have to order them through the app.
But you can't order them in any way unless you have ESPN Plus. Wow. So just basically, here's $5 more to the price.
Yep. And $5 less dollars. Because they take away. It's still the same. So it evens out. So say you got every single pay-per-view, it would be... In the old, it was $64, $64.99. Now they're $59.99.
Okay, so essentially they're giving you a $5 credit for doing that. all that is, to me, when I hear that, all I hear there is we need more ESPN Plus subscribers.
Even though it's quadrupled
Yeah.
in size since UFC took over.
Well, I did the free trial to watch your fight. You know what I mean? Like, it ended last Tuesday. You know what I mean? So
I definitely think it's worth the $5 a month. Now, like I said, I hope they get to the point where it's going to be like no such thing as pay-per-views, or maybe they do it, but it's $10 or something like that. I think they'll keep a lot of subscriptions that way.
I think if they're basing everything on getting subscriptions, maybe they should do like a WWE type deal on like the network for them, where
they have a UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah, but you can't watch it on there unless you have ESPN Plus.
Right.
I mean, were the pay-per-views on Fight Pass before?
They were,
and they're going to remain on there now, but you have to have ESPN Plus.
So you can only order live pay-per-views through ESPN Plus now.
So, but everything that's on Fight Pass is on ESPN Plus. All the live stuff and new stuff.
Yes.
But Fight Pass now is essentially just an archive for all the old shit.
That's exactly it.
And then all the new stuff
and like
too.
all like they have a deal with like 20 or so different fight promotions they stream on Fight Pass. So like a place where a lot of my buddies that are from they train down in Florida, they fight on a thing called Titan FC.
Yeah.
And you can watch those fights on Fight Pass.
All right.
So I mean, it's still a good.
Unless you're a huge fan of UFC past and other MMA products, Fight Pass is basically useless.
Yep. Exactly.
Just get ESPN Plus.
Yep.
Well, there you go. Problem solved, people. Now you heard it right here. You know what to do.
Yeah. So
that's all silly to me. That's way too many services.
It's
shit like that that's gonna make streaming services that problem that everybody talks about as too many streaming services. Like that's
one problem. Yeah.
Multiply that by like 3 right now.
And I think though, remember, I don't know, did you have the network when it first came out?
WWE? Mm-hmm. No, I had it.
It was
2016.
So buggy. I had it the first day, the first minute you're allowed to have it.
Yeah, when I first got it wasn't great either.
Fucked up. And ESPN Plus has not been too bad. I mean, it's had a couple times where it'll just kick you off the app.
Yeah,
but it's always happened during commercials.
Really?
Yeah, it hasn't happened during the fight. So
I didn't have that problem at all, but I did it all on the computer. And ESPN Plus on the computer is just the website. You just log into it.
Gotcha.
So I'm pretty sure websites have been mastered at this point.
Yeah, they figured it out a while ago.
So I had no issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
Other than it was a little confusing because what I remember, apparently the prelims are only on ESPN Plus. Or no, they're on
ESPN.
They're on
some of them are ESPN, some of them are ESPN Plus.
Because a bunch of people text me saying, I'm watching ESPN, I'm not seeing any fights. And I'm like, fuck. And that's when I learned you can only watch it on ESPN Plus.
This fight card, but the TJ Dillashaw, Henry Cejudo fight, and the one after that, the prelims were on ESPN.
Okay. But the actual fight night
the
is
main
on
card.
ESPN cable. No?
The actual... So, the first couple of prelims were on ESPN. Normal channel. I don't know what it is, but it used to be 33.
Okay.
So, boom. There you go. And then when the main card starts, that's when you have to turn on ESPN Plus. But my fight card and the last one, everything was on ESPN Plus.
All right.
So hopefully
ESPN Plus is where it's at then.
Yes, just get ESPN Plus. It's $5. You cheap fucks.
No, that's actually a really good thing. Not to mention, I got an email from ESPN Plus asking me to take a survey. I just every question they asked, probably 10 questions. I even name dropped you in like 3 of them.
Nice.
And basically, I was just like, want to see more Jeff Lights Out Hughes on ESPN Plus and with the UFC. And anything is like, what did you watch? What would you watch? All UFC, everything. Just trying to be like, keep it going. Bring Jeff back. More. You should all do that too if you got those fucking emails.
I'll have my own special and they'll be like, 0-1 UFC
just
fighter.
Every question, just check mark other and just write, want to see more Jeff Lights Out Hughes. Check mark, want to see more Jeff Lights Out Hughes.
Perfect.
Yeah. Other things I had to say about it is you and Mo are pretty friendly.
Yeah.
I saw not too long ago, LFA posted a picture of you and him right after the fight, and it was like, Jeff Hughes and Mo Greene are actually buddies now.
Yeah, we're like, we're definitely frenemies, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we understand what it is. Like, it's all business, but, like, we were cool. Like, the first time I saw him, I think was for the weigh-ins. Yeah, we somehow stay away from each other for 3 days. For the weigh-ins, he walked in. He's like, "What's up, Mr. Hughes?" or something like that.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, you know, I was signing posters, or I don't even know what I was doing. I was doing something."
Yeah.
And
signing posters, man.
dude, I had to sign like fucking 100 posters.
Really?
Yeah, and they gave you like 4 of them. They gave you one signed one and like 3 of like the just normal.
Yeah.
Fucking lost them at the airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. Well, what did
So
they
now
do
I
with
had to
all those?
Amazon. I had to. I don't know. Just give them to people.
Really? Just
Yeah.
promotional shit?
Like the one, like, we had to sign 100 posters or something like that, and it was all like those posters have everybody that fought on the card's signature on or autograph on it.
Okay.
So, and I have one. Well, somebody has one now.
Yeah, somebody
Some
scored
airport
that day.
security has it.
Wow. I'd call him up and be like, look, if you find this, send it to me.
Oh, I already had to do that with my games because I forgot my fucking PS4 games at the.
Didn't you?
I forgot my Switch in
Yeah, I
Minnesota.
was gonna say, God damn. dude,
Forgot.
you
Yeah.
need-
So this one cost even more to get them back.
You need a checklist before you get off
I
the
know.
fucking plane, dude.
I know, dude. My bags were so like I overpacked because I'm used to using all my clothes I bring, but they gave me so many fucking clothes. I overpacked, so I'm like just shoveling. I don't even know where I would have fit them.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah.
So I get home. What was it, Saturday? Me and Jared. I was like, let's play the. I'm like looking through my games that I have there, and I'm like, I'm missing like 6 games. I'm like, oh, they must be in my bag. So I went in my bag. My bag's empty. Rachel unpacked it. I'm like, hey, where's my games at? She's like, I didn't see any games in there. Fuck. I called the hotel we stayed at. I explained to them what happened, and they're like, no, we don't have any games. I'm like, yeah. Next person that had that room opened the drawer, saw a bunch of PS4 games. Now that they're theirs. They called me back like 2 hours later, like, oh, Mr. Hughes, we found your games. They were marked in a box called miscellaneous because I had a pair of socks that they put in the box with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're sending them back.
At least you're getting them back. Shit. What
Yeah.
games were there?
God of War.
So all the ones you cared about enough to bring with you, essentially. God of War, Spider-Man, PS4, fucking Red Dead 2, right?
The only thing I say, and Spider-Man is Josh's. Luckily, it was in my system. It was the last game I played, so like.
So you don't have the case.
Yeah. So they're sending me everything back.
Case is important, though.
So yeah, that was my jackass move of the trip. There's always one.
Well, I don't know if he is a wrestling fan, but I wrote down that Jeff Hughes and Mo Greene should be the Shawn Michaels and Triple H of UFC.
Playing yourself there.
I don't know, because you guys are friends, I guess.
Yeah.
They made it a point to say you guys were buddies during shit. So I don't know. With you guys being frenemies, though, that doesn't quite fit.
I think it's more like we're cool with each other, but like we'll fight each other again.
Yeah. No, I don't know. They were just playing it up, I guess.
Yeah. No.
Not only that, but you guys even played it up a little bit, like with the handshake at the weigh-in and
super respectful and all that.
even during the fight. The fight was just like a positive fight.
Yeah, that third round, dude, the place erupted. Like right before going into the third round, the place erupted, and we're just like, we both looked at each other like, all right,
yeah,
here we go again.
I even posted screenshots of that shit.
Yeah, that was cool. I'm gonna steal some of those.
I got more too. I didn't post them all, but yeah. You want to go ahead and talk about Derrick Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos while we're at it?
Yeah, that was a weird
Just to
fight,
wrap
huh?
that up. Was weird.
I expected that to happen, but not like that. Like he hit him with that body shot, and Derrick Lewis was like on his knees about it. Like, what the hell is going on here?
At first, I thought he was faking it because he
It
kind of
looked like
does
he
that
was
sort of
playing
thing.
possum. Yeah,
He's done that before. Like he's just like acted like he had no energy whatsoever, and then last round, just here he is.
right.
But he seemed like he was actually hurt there after a while. I'm not sure. I'm not like.
I think he was
kayfabing it up or something.
I heard. I read today that he on ESPN that he's getting knee surgery or something.
Okay.
So
All right, I guess that makes sense. Even though he was, it was like a body shot.
Yeah, I think the spinning heel kick to the body really hurt him. But man, he kept throwing. He almost knocked him out.
Yeah. All right, well, there's not really too much more to say about that. That's what happened. Other than that, it was a
Junior
typical,
won a TKO in second round.
Yeah, a basic Derrick Lewis performance. It's not bad, but like, I mean, not too active. More active than his last fight. That's for damn sure. Or no,
2 fights ago.
2 fights ago. Yeah.
Because he fought Cormier his last fight, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, he has to be active for fucking Cormier.
Yeah, he got ragdolled though. I mean, Cormier's wrestling's on a different level.
For sure. Good. Before we get off Cormier, who do you think? Actually, Joe Rogan talked about Stipe recently with Brendan Shaw. I don't know if you saw that. Talking about how he feels bad for Stipe because Stipe's kind of getting completely overlooked right now. And do you think is Stipe coming back anytime soon?
I think he's waiting for the rematch
with Cormier
that he deserves. Yeah, I mean, what other champion has won that many times and they haven't got the immediate rematch?
No, you're right. They even talked about that, and but Joe Rogan mentioned he doesn't think he's going to get that rematch with Cormier.
I don't think Cormier wants to give it to him. Yeah.
So,
and when you're the champion, you kind of dictate who you're fighting. I mean, they could eventually be like, no, you have to take this fight, but I don't know. Yeah, you think it would already happened or in the works at least. I heard some rumors that it was, but like online, but like you hear those all the time, so I don't know how true any of them is.
Well, they were throwing some names around for other opponents for Stipe, and they even threw fucking John Jones out there.
That'd be an awesome fight.
A rematch with Ngannou, maybe. Because Ngannou seems to be kind of back to his old self again.
He looks like a fucking murderer again.
Yeah. I don't know. That just maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Like me and Stipe are friends and training partners, but like I don't ever really bring anything up to him because he's a private person and he's dealing with $1 million contracts, and I'm just not trying to.
No, I get that.
I'm not trying to overstep my boundaries with
him. That makes sense. It's just I watched that episode the other day that made me think about it.
And now it sucks. Like, say he does get the shot, I can't help him for at least 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So.
Fuck, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, before we finish off the post-fight update, I guess, is there any other cool things that happened? Any crazy stories?
No, because it's Wichita, Kansas. It's the worst fucking place I've ever been
I guess there's
life.
not much to do out there.
Dude, no. It's like, it's on par with Waco, Ohio.
Really?
Like,
for anybody that doesn't know, that's where we are, right? That's where I live.
That's where I grew up.
Yeah. There's nothing here. There's this Waco market. That's
yeah. I mean, it's like that, though. It's like, the one, like, so we were, the best place, the funnest time me and my coach Steve had was standing in the Walmart parking lot waiting for our Uber.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. Like, somebody should film that and put it online.
Yeah. You should have, dude.
Oh, God, it was so funny.
I guess that's what I'm there for, but I'm not there. It was
so funny, dude. People, like, this doesn't sound really bad, but they looked pretty white trash.
Some people do, man.
And this kid, and like 3 kids get out, and one of the kids was chasing after the seagulls. And the mom, instead of like chasing after him, I mean, there's cars just zipping past him and shit. And she's like, "Get your ass over here!" I was just like, I like look at my coach, and he just starts laughing. He goes, "This is awesome. We should just stay here."
You guys got the genuine Wichita, Kansas experience right there.
Go to a city and go to the Walmart. You will see what the city is all about.
Oh, a genuine Wichita, Kansas Walmart experience. Yeah. Like I can only imagine. I've seen people at Walmart in Ohio. Who knows about Wichita, Kansas?
It's like worse than that, yeah.
Fuck, dude.
Oh God, it was so funny. And we asked the one girl that was working there. She's like a greeter or something. We were waiting for her Uber. We went there twice, so I'm asking her. I was like, "What is there to do here?" And she's like, "Well, we have a zoo." And I'm like, "We're not 7." And then she's like, "Do you like titties and beer?" I go, "Yeah, I love them. Can't go to it." And she goes, "Well, I don't know what you're going to do then."
Yeah.
She goes, "There's axe throwing." I'm Like,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, but my luck, I'd have cut my hand off or something.
That's true. Yeah, ruin your career or something. Yeah.
So
yeah.
So we literally sat in the hotel for like 5 days. It was fucking miserable. But whatever, you're not there for sightseeing. But it is nice, like when you go to Vegas and shit. Like there's always something to do. Like you get nervous about the fight or anything like that. Like because you know the week of the fight, it's a roller coaster ride, and you're like all of a sudden like you'll just sit there and you'll start thinking, and you're like, oh god, I gotta go walk.
Yeah.
There you could go to when I fought in Vegas, it was like I'm just gonna go play blackjack for 15 minutes. Takes your mind off of it, you're good.
There's plenty to do, yeah.
Right.
I guess that's what you had those fucking games for that you don't have right now.
I usually bring my PlayStation everywhere we go, every time I fight, but like I never play it.
You
this time I played it this time. I played it a lot.
But isn't that what the Switch is? Oh, you sold your Switch.
Sold my Switch, I got rid of that.
Right,
I never...
No, well, now that you're in the UFC, dude, you're going to be flying around a lot. Dude, you almost went to London last weekend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, which I guess we'll talk about next, because some shit went down there too. Just to get all the fighting stuff out of it, I guess.
Yeah, that's all I got for my fight experience. It was fun, and I can't wait to do it again.
Cool, awesome, and hopefully it's not in Wichita, Kansas again.
I'll fake an injury.
They'll fake an injury. Shit, dude, maybe you shouldn't do that. But yeah, to stay on the fight subject, we'll get through this kind of quick, I think. UFC Fight Night 147. Till versus Masvidal was last weekend?
Saturday, yeah. Last Saturday.
Yeah, so I wrote down a couple things. Only two fights did I really have anything to say about, and the first one was Roberts versus Silva, and that was a super tough fight. Like, if it hadn't have been for the Till versus Masvidal fight and everything that happened there, I think that would have been the fight of the night.
Okay. I don't know if I watched that one or
but
not.
There was a verbal tap that he protested afterwards. Do you remember
that?
Yeah.
I do.
What do you...
It's like, so the referees explain to you, like, you have to say, I'm good, I'm okay, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They take a scream, like a lot of people, if they get caught in something, they'll scream instead of tap first.
That's what they said he did. He was screaming in pain.
They tell you a scream, they take that as a verbal tap.
As a verbal tap.
Yep. And so those are the rules, so it's like, I get it, like maybe you weren't tapping, but they say that. I mean, that's the rule. The rules are the rules.
He's supposed to just bite his tongue in that situation.
He's supposed to, yeah.
Fuck.
And I don't blame you. The referees are there to make sure we're safe.
Yeah.
Can be. And if you're caught in something, you scream. That means you're in pain.
Yeah. So if he would have fucked his elbow up, like broke his elbow or something, like would that ref have then gotten in trouble?
No, because that just happens. But that I thought it was a good call. If you scream out of pain, like they tell you that. Like if they didn't explain that to you, and if we didn't know the rules, then I would have been like, well, you got to tell people that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a verbal tap. You screaming is the same to them as saying I quit.
I gotcha.
Or I tap.
I gotcha. It's basically like a stubborn way of tapping.
Right.
All right. Cool. I just thought that was confusing, and I wondered what you thought about the whole ruling on that. But other than that, like I said, it was a really good fight up until that controversial point there at the end, which a lot of people, you could hear people booing when that shit happened. But then the thing that stole the show after that was Darren Till versus Jorge Masvidal.
Awesome fight.
Man, was it a good fight.
That's an awesome fight.
Before the ending, before the finish, I would have had my money on Darren Till just because I know how fucking much of an animal he is. And I didn't know much about Jorge Masvidal. But I'm a Masvidal fan now. That's
he's awesome.
Damn sure. Yeah, he's a cool dude. And my only, I just wrote Till versus Masvidal, and holy shit. But damn, dude, out of nowhere, got him twice real good, I think. Mm-hmm. Like a 1-2. The first one got him, second one put him out.
Yeah, I think he was out going down.
Yeah. That second one sealed the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, closed the door and locked it on that one.
Threw away the key.
Yep. He's lights out, door closed, locked it, ate that shit.
That was up.
Meanwhile, 2 head bounces off the mat, and he's down for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was scary. I was like, man, usually they don't go out like that.
Didn't they have the
oxygen on them?
Was it oxygen? Yeah. I thought they were like doing the pump thing. Maybe
that's
what it was.
It's to make sure he's still breathing.
But yeah, dude, that was... They showed the replays, and I watched the first replay, but then after that, after they did like the first round of replays, and then later they were recapping it, they showed those replays. I didn't even look at what happened. I was just looking at everyone in the crowd, and people were legitimately like, some of them looked terrified.
Yeah.
Like, that was scary.
It had to sound terrible. Like in
there
person.
Was grown, like, hard-ass looking men going... You know what I mean? Like, it was insane.
Dude, that to me is knockout of the year so far, from what I've seen.
Yeah, so surprising, dude. I didn't see it coming at all.
It came out of nowhere.
Like, if you would have blinked, you wouldn't have saw that shit.
And how about that gangster shit he did after the fight? Did you see the interview when he...
I did. I don't remember what you're referring to.
So the guy that was in the co-main event, I can't remember his name, that won the co-main event.
Yeah.
He walked by Masvidal when he was doing an interview.
I did hear about that.
And he's like, oh, okay. And he like just walks off the interview with his hands behind his back. The dude, I can't remember his name for some reason right now, walks up to him with his hands up, and Masvidal just gives him a 3-piece. Boom, boom, boom. And they, of course, get separated and shit. But what he said afterwards, he's like, hey, like... He kept saying, hey, I'll kick your ass in July or whatever. He's like, maybe I want to do it in April.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do it right now.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not even worth my training camp.
Shit.
I was like, fuck. That's gangster, dude.
That is gangster as fuck. Like, there's going to be a video of that out there, and then it's going to go black and white, freeze frame. They're going to put the glasses on him and a blunt. It's going to say Thug Life.
Thug Life, yep.
But
I'm surprised I haven't seen one already.
If it doesn't happen, we'll do it.
Yep.
And then we'll put JAMUP right at the bottom. Because we don't care. Yeah, fucking hell of a fight. Very surprising ending. Anybody that missed it, I definitely recommend.
Yeah, go back and watch it, man. That was brutal. Yeah, that's a highlight reel knockout you're gonna see for a long time.
Yeah, compilations or people that make compilation videos on YouTube are creaming themselves. A little too much detail, Mark. Yeah, I think that's it for fight news. I have one little piece of information I saw this morning that fucking made me laugh out loud.
Okay.
But that's kind of fight related, but WWE related. I read today that Ronda Rousey is refusing to re-sign with WWE if they sign Cris Cyborg.
Bye.
Yep, that's what I say, and I'm pretty sure that's what everybody else says. And why would she even? Like, I don't know if she stated this or if this is just like, hey, this is what's happening, like coming from a source or something. But like, what? I understand why she would feel that way, but I'm sure she wouldn't want people knowing that. Right.
I don't know. I don't know how to think about it besides, like, you're in this 1 year and you're already making demands like that?
Yeah. Well, not only that, like, I mean...
They're giving you the push.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I earned this. I'm the champion. It's like they gave you this to you, and it's your... They're giving you the opportunity to run with it, and you're going to throw out some shit like, oh, I won't re-sign if they sign this girl. Like,
yeah.
Who the fuck are you, man?
They're, She's been doing a lot of weird shit lately. I don't know if you've heard anything, but she's got a vlog series that she does on YouTube.
No, I don't.
And on her website. Well, in one of them, and I think like two of them, she is openly breaking kayfabe and like shitting on the business, talking about how it's fake, how it's scripted, all like just shitting all over it. But I'm not sure if, because that's her kind of her gimmick right now. I don't know if she's legitimately this way or she is this way and they're just feeding into it and making it her gimmick because it's kind of working. But like she is a heel now, essentially. She's very pissed off at everyone.
Yeah.
She doesn't care. She's the anti-pro wrestling pro wrestler. That's her gimmick, essentially.
Okay.
So I can't tell if this is breaking kayfabe or keeping it alive. So I I don't know if it's awesome or terrible. I don't know how to feel about it.
Right. It's not. I don't know. I think you should feel good about a gimmick like that. If she's the champ right now, they shouldn't give you that option to like, I don't know if I feel like this is the right thing for the business or not, because like I said, she's only been there for less like a year.
Yeah.
And she's already pulling stunts like this. I don't know. I'm not a Rousey fan. I've never been.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the whole gimmick. That's what I'm talking about, the gimmick thing. I don't know if everything that led up to this thing with Cris Cyborg is gimmick or legitimate or not, but I think her legitimately refusing to resign because Cris Cyborg is in talks or something, because it has been talked about a little bit.
Yeah.
And I would gladly welcome Cris Cyborg to the roster. You know what I mean? Like, go for it. You can't be worse than Ronda. Ronda's getting better. Even her gimmick is better. Like, her being an asshole, I may not like it, but I love not liking it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's good then. I mean, then she's doing her job.
But Cris Cyborg would be a welcome addition, I think, and I think it's kind of bullshit for her to.
Her English is so bad, though. I don't know if like.
Yeah, but look at Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah, that's true.
Even Asuka. Asuka's better than Shinsuke Nakamura, but she's still not very.
Yeah. I mean, her English isn't like terrible, but like to put a mic on her and have her shoot a promo would be like you'd have to almost put a mouthpiece on her.
Yeah. Heyman.
There
Give
you go.
her Heyman.
Perfect. Makes sense.
I mean, maybe there's a stable of UFC people. You know what I mean? Even though Brock's kind of like the tweener.
CM Punk back.
Oh wow,
That'd be a sweet.
that'll never happen, but that would be sweet.
Why? Just because he rubbed Triple H the wrong way, or
I don't.
Back. I'm gonna get some water. Keep talking.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question though. Maybe because he rubbed Triple H the wrong way. But I like this laid back feel of I'm gonna get something to drink. This is cool.
They do it on Joe Rogan all the time.
They do. Who gives a shit, right? We're so professional. But I think I don't know if the whole Triple H and CM Punk thing is as legit as they make it out to be. I think it might be more kayfabe than they make it out.
I thought it was funny when he posted a picture, and this could be Photoshop, but he posted a picture smiling with the CM Punk fight in the background.
Yeah.
After CM Punk lost.
I do remember that.
I thought that was pretty funny. But that might have been a tactic to get him back.
Maybe. At least get him to like talk shit and maybe engage. You know what I mean?
I'm saying like to get the fans into it if he does come back.
Yeah. Like maybe like that spark, like when they leaked the Deadpool footage to get people to be like, we want to see this movie. Like, hey, we want to see Triple H and CM Punk.
That's a WrestleMania match right there.
It is. It really is.
If Triple H, you know how he always comes back for WrestleMania.
Well, I talked about this with Jared on Ohio WrestleCast. I think it was number 11. Yeah. About CM Punk and AEW and how AEW, which is All Elite Wrestling, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a new promotion with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
That'd be awesome. Oh, I can't wait for that.
Me either, dude. Me either. Right now, though,
that's legit wrestling.
All they are is a T-shirt company, though. That's all they are, and like bandanas. I think they made bandanas and gave.
Is Rhodes still wrestling in New Japan?
No, I think they've signed Kenny Omega. Now they're all.
Oh, they're just waiting to do their first show.
Yeah, the first one I guess is called Double or Nothing because the one they teamed up with NWA, New Japan, and somebody else, I think. Was it Ring of Honor? I can't remember. But was called All In, and this one's called Double or Nothing.
Oh, was that the that was the
Meltzer
one that sold like
said that they wouldn't sell 10,000 tickets and they sold out in 30 minutes. Yeah. But
fuck Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, he thinks he knows everything.
Yeah, he never does though. It's always bullshit. And just I only know of him from all the podcasts I listen to, and they all hate him too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't listen to him enough to hate him, but there are some things he's definitely opinionated, and I don't agree with some of them.
What do you read him on? Like just the dirt sheet?
I listen to him from clips from podcasts on YouTube.
See, I if he could walk by me in the street and I wouldn't know who he was. Hey, you have a call?
Would. I don't. That's an alarm. Fucking asshole. Turn this shit down. But my point there with AEW was AEW was in talks with CM Punk, I guess, that's what was reported around, and they said that CM Punk had turned them down. Now, maybe he did turn them down, but I talked with Jared about how maybe CM Punk did agree with them. I was like, yeah, I'll sign with you, but don't tell anybody. You know what I mean?
I can see him doing
Let's make this
that.
a surprise appearance or something at Double or Nothing. Or he said, no, I'm not interested, but maybe he's thinking down the road he will be, you know?
I wish they would. I wish there was a way now with online stuff. Like, this is the only example I can give. When Brock Lesnar was rumored to come back a couple years ago, like, I would have never knew he was coming back if somebody. I think it was when they were in Miami for WrestleMania. Somebody spotted him at the airport in Miami.
Yeah.
So if I know it's a pain in the ass, but if you like, obviously you're not going to get Brock Lesnar to do this, but somebody like CM Punk that loves the business the way he does, or used to, or whatever, maybe fly him. Say it was in Miami, fly him to Orlando and just have somebody drive him down. You know, just in case somebody does catch him, like, no, I'm going to Disney World, man.
Yeah.
And so it won't blow up online the way it does.
Well, I mean, Jericho pulled it off at All In, the pay-per-view.
Yeah, he did.
What is now AEW, or part of AEW, was...
Who did he wrestle that night?
He didn't wrestle anybody. It was Pentagon versus Kenny Omega. And Kenny Omega, I think he beat Pentagon, and then the lights went out. And then the lights came back on, and Pentagon and Kenny Omega are still in the ring, but then Pentagon gets up and starts beating the shit out of Kenny Omega. Turns out, he takes off his mask. It was fucking Chris Jericho, and that was his appearance. Nobody saw it coming, and then everybody was speculating about it, but Chris Jericho had a Fozzy concert, in a few states away or somewhere else.
Oh.
So he actually flew in, I think either before or right after the Fozzy concert, did that appearance, switched, put on the mask and wore Pentagon's outfit, I guess, or another outfit that was basically the same outfit he was wearing and had his mask on. Just rolled in and Pentagon rolled out. The lights came back on and boom. And Jericho, when he pulled the mask off, he had a remake of Pentagon's makeup on underneath the mask. And when he took the mask off, there was just makeup around his eyes and makeup around his mouth.
I saw
so
pictures
fucking
of it.
cool.
Yeah.
And he had his long hair back and shit. But yeah, so Chris Jericho pulled that shit off.
Yeah, there's no reason nobody else, these other guys can't too. It would just make it more exciting. Like, I knew he wasn't coming to WrestleMania, but like when his music hit the next night on Raw, it was fucking awesome. Yeah. But I knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Why else would he be in Miami?
Good. No, especially Brock Lesnar, a guy who doesn't like to do anything really,
right,
unless there's enough money involved.
Right.
Which I guess WrestleMania would be a reason.
So when is WrestleMania? It's coming up in 2 weeks.
26th, I think, of April.
Oh, so another month from now.
Maybe I could be wrong. It might be sooner than that, but I know it's April. Somewhere.
I used to think it was like early April. I'm gonna look it up.
It might be. It might be like March 4th or something. Now I think about
April
it.
4th.
Maybe I'm thinking of Game of Thrones. There's so much happening in April that I can't. I'm getting all the dates mixed up. I think Game of Thrones is the 14th.
WrestleMania.
And it's WrestleMania 35, I believe. But yeah, what else is happening? A bunch of stuff's happening. Endgame.
Oh, I cannot wait.
Which is,
are we going to that?
Maybe it's Endgame that's
35.
the 14th or the 26th. I can't remember. Everybody's going to think I'm an idiot.
April 7th.
April 7th is WrestleMania.
Yep. I knew it was coming up in like 2 weeks.
So Game of Thrones is probably the 14th, and then Endgame I think is probably the 26th. Because those are the 3 dates I seem to have in my head for April.
That's definitely it. Yeah. Because for whatever reason, I think Avengers went from, I could be wrong, but I thought it was May 4th, but then they went down a week.
Yeah.
Like, I could be wrong on that, but
how cool would it be if they pulled some shit like they did for Infinity War? It's like, by the way, it's out a month early, and it comes out like Friday. That would be so awesome, dude.
I'm like, Mark, we're going.
That would be so awesome.
We're going to that midnight show.
I was just about to say, we did say that in like one of the 2 previous episodes, I remember.
So it'll probably be on a Thursday night.
Yeah, most likely. I don't give a fuck if I have to work the next day.
Nope, I don't either.
I'm going.
I'm going.
It'll be the first time I've seen an opening night, a Marvel movie.
Yeah. Speaking of Marvel movies, let's talk about it.
The Avengers Endgame trailer? The new one?
No, I was. Oh,
Captain
yeah,
Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
I have not seen it. Jeff has, so go ahead and hate on us. One guy who got mad that I hadn't seen something, but Jeff had. But I've heard two differing opinions. One, somebody loved it very much. That opinion was not yours.
It was not mine.
You were the other opinion.
We went to go see it Friday, I believe. The day it came out. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Packed?
No, I'm sorry. It was Sunday. It was the day after my fight.
Okay. Still packed?
It was. Yeah. There was. I would say half full theater for a matinee or whatever. All right. Without giving anything away, because I know it's still in theaters. Yeah. The movie was very long. It was very slow.
It was like 2.5 hours.
It felt like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Very slow. Way too much backstory. Like, way too much. It just didn't feel like it had a purpose. Like, I know it was supposed to get you excited for Endgame, and it was a necessary... They made you feel like it was a necessary step to watch before. It almost felt like a cash grab to me. Like, They know... People that are going to watch Endgame want to know how she has anything to do with this. So... I just did not like it, though. It was so long. The characters were boring. Samuel L. Jackson was corny.
Yeah. How so? How was Sam
Just
Jackson?
like his lines and stuff. Like he was like... It was like...
Were they like forcing 90s nostalgia down your throat?
A little bit, especially with like the soundtrack. Like at first I didn't mind the soundtrack, but everything was like... It was almost like... Nothing against women or anything like that, but it was almost like women power, like...
It was too...
Yeah.
It was too much... Too feminist.
Too feminist, yeah. That's... Yeah, I need you for those type of words. Because I can't get it. It's on the tip of my tongue. But
no, that's a lot of complaints I get. And from what I hear, Brie Larson's not too professional about her opinion. Like, she's already insulted, like, half the Marvel audience just by saying, like... it's not for nerdy,
Yeah.
loser white dudes, or whatever she said. I forget it was, but it was very like sexist.
I
against
really
white
enjoy
dudes.
looking at her.
Oh, she's a very good-looking girl, definitely.
But it
very
just
opinionated.
did not. It did not feel like it felt more like a DC movie where it was just like long and drawn out, and
I hate that.
Nothing's really going.
An insult.
It is.
I hate that.
But
I get what you're saying, though.
Yeah, like not enough was going on. Like I'm used to like Marvel movies being fun, and it wasn't fun at all.
All right.
Now my daughter liked it. She saw it.
I imagine if you're a woman, you probably love this movie.
My daughter likes anything. She loves superheroes, especially like her favorite superhero. It's not even a superhero. It's Harley Quinn.
Okay.
She loves Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
she loves Wonder Woman, but like
yeah.
She's on the phone. I'm talking to her after she saw it. She saw it the day it came out. And she's like, it was so great that this cat came out of nowhere. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. So I went to see it, and like I kind of pieced together what she said. And like being a 5-year-old girl is probably great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But for me, like and my coach hated it more than I did. He's like, what the fuck did we just watch?
Wow. Let's see. You said like Samuel Jackson was corny, and that was most likely because of like forcing the 90s nostalgia down your throat. You said there was like a 90s, like basically all girl soundtrack. Like
No Doubt, and
which isn't necessarily bad.
No,
but, like,
it
was definitely a choice they made.
Yes, I enjoyed I didn't notice a trend until like the fourth song they played, and I was like, wait a minute, these are all women vocalists.
Yeah.
It's just like
I think I heard I can't remember if it was like
holes in it, yeah,
or garbage that was in the sound,
both of them,
or the trailer.
It's garbage
in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's garbage. I think I'm paranoid.
No, yeah.
But I loved Shirley Manson too, so I was a big fan of her.
It was I gotta take this thing off. It's starting to hurt.
Go for it.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, and I think it was a cash grab at the end of the day.
Well, you said it. I felt like it didn't have a point.
Yeah,
but I think like isn't the whole point of this movie like to kind of be like a leading point? It's kind of necessary for her to exist, or at least this movie to exist, whether it be Captain Marvel or some other character, to bridge the gap they have for Endgame, right?
We did
she's
like
definitely involved
Yeah.
largely in Endgame.
We did like something that is forbidden, and I didn't want to do it, but he was so ready to get out of there. We left right at the credits.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You didn't
and
see the end credits scene?
I didn't see it, and I knew
Okay.
that was gonna.
Yeah,
what I'm saying, I guess,
that's
is
like sacrilege.
it had no tie-in until those two, because I read about them. It had no tie-in with the Avengers coming up until the last two.
So
scenes.
the whole movie has no point except the only thing you need to see is the end credit scene.
Yep.
Wow.
And
Well, I guess that makes kind of sense because it takes place in the 90s way before everything else. So
she did say, like, I've upgraded this pager. I'm gonna be far away. Ring it if you need me.
that's
Infinity
the
War.
end of
He
Infinity War.
rings the pager.
So that's just wow. So they literally. Okay, then I'm very curious to see how she fits in without even seeing it.
She's gonna come.
I'm very curious to see how she fits in.
I think
Endgame.
she's gonna come and fuck up Thanos, because you see how, without, again, I'm not giving too much away, but she doesn't of course she doesn't understand her powers until the end of the movie. Then she learns how to use them.
Is she a Mary Sue?
Mary Sue.
Do you know what a Mary? Okay, a lot of people when The Force Awakens came out, they kept calling Rey a Mary Sue, and that's because a Mary Sue is a character in a movie or a book or whatever where everything just comes naturally and easy to her. She has no real struggle, kind of like Rey, where she didn't have to really train. She just kind of had the Force and was able to do things without even really trying that hard. Like apparently you don't have to train to be a Jedi anymore. You're just naturally talented sometimes. So is that what she is? Like she kind of just finds her way out of situations, or it just kind of falls into her lap, or
she's pretty much she knows she's a badass, but she doesn't know how to use it at first. Like she knows how to use powers, and everybody around her knows that she is this. They have to pay attention to her because they know that she is very powerful. Nobody knows how powerful though. She finds out.
Okay.
Without giving anything away, how she finds out, but yeah.
So they kind of try to get away with that Mary Sue-ness about her by saying that like she's just basically badass. She's awesome. Like she's extremely powerful, almost more powerful than most, if not all. She just doesn't know it.
Yeah. And we have to make sure she never learns it.
So
just watch it. I'm sorry. You just have to.
No.
Give me your opinion on it.
I don't care about spoilers whatsoever for this one, and I'm not going in expecting much, so I'll probably end up being like, that wasn't bad.
Right.
But
I think I was expecting way too much. I thought they were gonna bridge Infinity War a little bit more.
What? That is one of the main things I heard about it in like little spoiler-free reviews I saw here and there, is that she's kind of a Mary Sue. That's why I asked. Because I know that Captain Marvel in general, kind of in the comic book world, isn't that popular. And Marvel's kind of acting like she's great and beloved and people love Captain Marvel when they really don't. The only time, like her comic books that were her own, standalone books, didn't really do that well. A lot of them were canceled. The only time she was really that interesting is when she was a side character involved in some other better storyline. That's the only time she ever really did anything worthwhile.
Yeah,
So,
I never even heard of Captain Marvel until all this talk of the movie happening.
The way you're describing it, though, it makes me seem like they literally could have just made any other movie and then put a end credit scene at the end and tied it to Endgame. They would have just had to have like somehow made that character powerful enough to take down Thanos for some reason,
right.
which kind of it makes me wonder: are they fucking up Endgame? Are they gonna fuck up Endgame?
I think because the rumor I read was that Thor and Captain Marvel are going to be like very. It's going to be like almost like a competition who's more powerful.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking like they're starting to realize Thor is more powerful than he's letting off being. You know, he's a god and all that. And like he was the one that almost killed Thanos, even with the glove.
Yeah, he blew it by not putting it in his fucking.
Yeah. So I think there's going to be like a little, I guess, pissing contest between those two.
Gotcha.
Who's going to be the one to really take down Thanos? And my prediction is it's going to be Tony Stark.
Really?
Yeah.
He's gonna sacrifice himself, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite a few are gonna die. Pretty sure Captain America's gonna die. For sure, Tony Stark's gonna die.
All the guys that don't have contracts after this, I think are going to die.
Thor might go on for another one, but I'm gonna call it right now. We can make a bet on it if you don't believe me, but I would bet money that when Chris Hemsworth's done, they're gonna make Thor a girl. Because in the comic books, Thor's a girl. Sif became Thor.
Why can't they do? What's the other guy that was Thor? Beta Ray Bill or whatever.
I don't remember. I don't know. All I'm saying is, in this day and age, if there's an opportunity for them to turn a major superhero into a woman and it somehow tickle some community's fancy, they'll do it. Even though that community makes up like 7% of the population.
Right.
You know what I mean?
If that, yeah. I also think that Thor's sister, what was her name? Helena. She's going to make an appearance in Endgame. She's not dead.
I thought she went down with Ragnarok.
But she's so
god,
powerful.
Though, I guess. Yeah.
She's so
good. I love fucking that chick.
Yeah, she's awesome. And I think
she's
gonna I think she's gonna have something to do with Thanos. So in the comics, Thanos falls in love with Death and he's trying to impress Death.
Yeah.
And she's like the goddess of death. So maybe instead of just making a new character, Death, they're gonna tie that.
Use her as that character.
Yeah, like
that makes sense.
She's the goddess of death, and he loves it. And
that sounds like some shit that Marvel would do.
Yeah, only because because how are you gonna introduce another character at this point?
Yeah, you think so? They're probably gonna kill Thanos in Endgame. I think
so too. Yeah, and I think Tony Stark's gonna be the one to do it.
So it's not like
he's gonna go out with a bang.
So it's not going to be like Thanos can remain and be a villain again one day, like later on in the series when there's a new Avengers or some shit, like 10 years from now or some shit.
Because they say like in Infinity War they have like there's a part where Thanos says he respects Tony Stark or something.
Yeah,
I think that was like a little. To me, that's what I'm getting at. He respects him because he knows he can take him down.
Gotcha.
He respects him because he knows he'll sacrifice himself to take him down.
Maybe he already knows that somehow.
Right, because he has the time stone or something.
But he probably said that before he had the time stone. But maybe he had the time stone at one time already and he lost it or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Jeff gives Captain Marvel a big thumbs down.
I give it a 4 out of 10.
A 4 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
The only reason I got a 4 is because the visuals are very nice.
Yeah, because Brie Larson looks good.
Yeah, that visual is very nice. That gets a 10 out of 10.
Oh.
But
the actual visuals.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, okay, it's a Marvel movie, so it's gonna be up production value like that. But no, I did hear she rocks that fucking suit.
She looks so hot.
But no, she doesn't. She's I liked her ever since Scott Pilgrim. She played the hot blonde girlfriend that dumped him. She was in the Rock.
I know what you're talking about. I never really watched that movie.
Yeah, she looks very different in that movie, but it's a badass movie.
Who's the actor in that?
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. Speaking of him, I started Arrested Development again.
Yeah, didn't they just put out a new season?
Yeah, they just put out. That's why, because I knew a new season was coming out, and I was like, man, I have to rewatch these because I didn't even watch all of them. But it's been like 10 years since I watched.
What is this season 5B that just came out?
I think it's just season 5 because they did 3 seasons. Well, they came back for season 4.
Oh, I thought they came back for season 5. Maybe it is season 5.
I thought there was only 3 seasons.
And then didn't they like remix season 4 or something?
I don't know because it didn't get a really good reception. People were not happy with it.
The last season they put out after like years wasn't as good as the show was. I mean, I still enjoyed it a little bit. I like seeing them all again.
I like it more now than I did when I was like 18, 19 years old.
Really?
Yeah, I love it now. It's so funny.
Cool. Shit. All right, maybe I will watch it then. A couple more movies we have to talk about. I saw some things, and I'll save the last thing for last because we both saw that, and it's not really a movie or anything. But I don't know if you've heard anything about... Well, I guess before we get into that, we'll stick to the Marvel stuff. I saw Into the Spider-Verse, the animated Spider-Man movie.
Heard it was awesome.
I liked it a lot. I see what all the hype was about. The ending was a little... Not necessarily rushed, but there was a lot going on. And because it was an animated movie, it got a little confusing at points, but I got it. Because it's Into the Spider-Verse, there were multiple different Spider-Man. There was even... And I'm pretty sure... Because I didn't read the comics that this shit's based on, if it's even based on a comic series. I know Miles Morales and all these characters are in comics, I just don't know. But they fucking introduced, I don't know if he's in the comics, but to me it seemed like an homage to Spider-Pig from The Simpsons. Because there is a Spider-Pig. Like, because all these different Spider-Men's / Spider-Women.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Gwen's there, too, which I really liked her. She's awesome in this movie. And they all come from other universes. And there's a Spider-Pig, and it's exactly what you think it is. It's basically if Porky Pig was wearing a Spider-Man outfit the whole time.
Spider-Pig.
And
I forgot how good
this
movie was.
He looks so much like Porky Pig in a Spider-Man outfit that even at the... Spoiler alert, when he goes back to another dimension... I think he even cracks a joke about copyrights and then says, "That's all, folks," and fucking goes through the portal. But and then there's like a black and white, what they call in the credits, noir Spider-Man, and it's like Spider-Man in black and white. You barely even see features of him, but you know he's in like a trench coat and he's got a fedora hat on.
So it's like that 1920s look to him,
and it's voiced by Nicolas Cage. So it's like
it's overacting.
No, and like he sounds.
I'm Spider-Man.
He doesn't sound anything like that at all. Like he sounds like a gritty fucking like those old noir, like when they narrated over it and everything was hazy and smoky and shit. There was like a saxophone playing in the background.
I gotta watch it now.
But no, it was very cool, and I liked the movie a lot. It did a lot of things you don't normally see in Marvel animated movies, let alone any animated movies. Like this animated movie was on the level, story-wise, of a DC animated movie.
Which is DC owns
which is
that
good things.
Market, yeah.
Yeah, like there's been a stinker or two of the DC animated movies recently.
Like the Killing Joke.
And there was another one I didn't think that was that great either. I can't remember what it was, though. That's how memorable it was. But it was, the writing-wise and story-wise, it was on the level of like that, if not more. And the animation was clearly better. I mean, it won an Oscar for animation.
Yeah.
So it was definitely lived up to that.
I haven't heard a bad thing about it.
Yeah,
I just haven't got around to watch it yet.
Like it's buy it worthy, and the animation is that cool too because it's like a different. It almost feels looks like a comic book,
yeah.
And moves like a comic book. And
I'm about to watch it. I have it on my Fire Stick. And it's always like one of the top picks, like because they kind of like rank them, on the whatever I use, and it's always like in the top 5.
Yeah.
So I need to watch it.
But yeah, I give that 2. Like that's a 4.5 out of 5 probably. Nice. I would think. Another thing I watched, 2-part documentary. I'm sure you've heard about it. I've not seen some things about it, but it's on HBO. It's called Leaving Neverland.
Oh, I've heard about it.
Yeah. All right. 2-part documentary. Each part is like the length of a full length. Like that's like an hour and a half, if not longer. Like watching the first one, I was kind of like, all right, I get it. He touched you. Like he did fucked up things to you. Like, I get it. Even though the first one, this is how I described it to my mom. I was like, through the first part of it, I was kind of like, these guys could be full of shit. Mm-hmm. These guys could completely be full of shit. Not only that, like, these guys defended him all the way up until his death.
And then that's when all the shit came out.
Yeah, like, they committed perjury in the court of law and lied. Said he didn't do anything to them. It was nothing like that. But these two guys there's these two guys that this documentary follows. One is a guy named Wade Robson that any kid that grew up watching MTV in the 90s knows who that guy is. He's choreographed everyone. Britney Spears, NSYNC, Backstreet, all those motherfuckers. Yeah. He was all those dances those motherfuckers did, he created that shit. Because he was basically mentored by Michael Jackson all the way up to like the age of 16 or 17 or some shit. Or 8,
he was one of
18.
the guys that he touched.
Yes. Ugh. Yeah. And then another guy was a kid actor that did a lot of stuff with Michael Jackson. Like, was in his music videos, did like Pepsi commercials and shit. Like the commercial that Michael Jackson burned his skull and his hair and everything with, that's the commercial that kid was in. Or like, because I guess they filmed a few different commercials at that point.
And that was one of them.
One of which was really creepy, that they showed, like, this kid had entered Michael Jackson's dressing room and was, like, looking around and shit. And this is, like, a Pepsi commercial. I was like, Michael Jackson's not there, but you're seeing, like, the glove and the hat and it's his whole wardrobe and everything. And then Michael Jackson just, like, kind of sneaks in all of a sudden, just like, hey. Like, oh, dude, like,
no,
I can't even do it justice, so I'm not going to, but, like, just.
I now have to go back and watch these commercials. I want to watch the documentary. I heard it's fucked up.
So my point is that watching the first part of the documentary, I'm like, these guys could definitely be full of shit. It doesn't make any sense why they would do this, blah, blah, blah. Then you watch the second part of the documentary, which is basically which basically follows the trials in the 90s, all the accusations, them defending him at one point, and then it goes into explaining why they're coming out now. By the end of the second, when you're just like, I mean, fuck. He was a fully grown man who slept with strangers' children in their bed.
Wasn't some of the parents in the next room over?
Some of the parents were deliberately on other floors.
Because they knew what was going on.
No, that's where they were. Like, the kid would stay with them. He would stay with him for, like, long-ass periods of time. Sometimes the parents wouldn't even be around. But, like, the parents were around most of the time. But, like, he would have this kid alone all the time. Like, while the parent is on, like, another floor of the hotel. Like, when there's security. Not only that, Michael Jackson's bedroom in his house, the hallway leading to his bedroom was wired so that footsteps in his hallway on the floor went off in his bedroom as, like, piano notes or something like that. So he knew if somebody was coming close to his bedroom. Or walking down the hallway to his bedroom.
He sounds like a fucked up individual.
When it comes down to it, you're just like, if it was any other motherfucker that was doing this shit, you would have no doubt in your mind.
Right. But you know how weird the motherfucker was.
Yeah. Like, but it's Michael Jackson.
Yeah. I think everybody that I've heard talk about it has said that dude is guilty as can be.
I mean, it's just so fucked up to think about. Like, I don't know. I don't know if he did it. I don't know if he did. But this documentary, much like most documentaries made about something specifically,
just persuade you one way.
Definitely persuades you and makes you think that, wow, this motherfucker actually did do this shit. And we've kind of all been defending him, and he's kind of been getting away with it. He got completely away with it.
Well, I heard now it's to the point where they won't even play his music on radio.
Yeah, he's being banned and shit. Yeah. Like, it's weird. Like, it's really weird when you think about it. Like, this guy was beloved. This was one of the biggest stars in the world. Like, he's never going to be forgotten.
All time.
Even
he's on par with Elvis.
He's on par. Like, he's more on par with Bill Cosby.
Well, yeah, now.
But I would say even more so.
Yeah.
Because there's people in other countries that probably don't know Bill Cosby. Yeah. But I bet you go anywhere and say Michael Jackson, most motherfuckers are going to know.
Yep, that's why I'm saying like him, Elvis. Can you name like who's a bigger guy than Michael Jackson? Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, like
Ali.
Muhammad Ali. Yeah, I would say he's on par. Like there's like a Muhammad Ali, Elvis, Babe Ruth tier, and Michael Jackson is there.
Is there
when it comes to like popular music? Michael Jackson
and the Beatles.
Yeah, for sure. Did
they talk about any of the? Probably not, because it's more or less the sexual stuff. But like, did they bring up anything with the Beatles and Michael Jackson? Did you hear about any of that?
I know that
Michael Jackson bought all the rights to their music.
All the rights to their music, yeah. And Paul McCartney. It was actually Paul McCartney gave him the idea. He brought it up and talked about how lucrative it would be to buy all that up.
Yeah.
And Michael Jackson, basically in his mind, was just like, "That's a good idea. I'm going to do that," and then did it.
And Paul McCartney was pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, he owned all his own music too. That's why he was that's why he could be bankrupt or be broke completely. Basically pay all this money to pay kids off to shut the fuck up, and allegedly. And still live in a mansion and have all these things because he owned all these things that he could
out his music.
He would either make royalty money or he would sell these things off. Just like everybody's like, oh, Johnny Depp's broke right now. No, he's not, motherfucker. He's making Harry Potter spin-off movies. He's selling his island and one of his 14 houses.
Right.
And,
he does own
3
like 14
bottles
houses,
of
right?
$100,000 wine. What?
He does own like 14 houses, right?
Multiple houses, yeah. He bought an island. He owns like a however many $1 million island, too. Maybe not now that he's broke.
I don't think he's broke. You
not.
don't burn through that pirate's money like that.
No, probably not. Well, I guess he had huge expenses. Like he was literally spending like $50,000 a month on wine, and like weird things like that. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I guess you can burn through it. Mike Tyson did it.
But yeah, they talk about him a lot on Hollywood Babylon for some reason, which is one of Kevin Smith's podcasts where they talk about like Hollywood and movies and shit like that. But so that's how I know all these weird things about Johnny Depp, because they follow that shit.
You want to see where my knuckle is?
Oh yeah, dude, I didn't even realize.
There.
Fuck, dude.
It's supposed to
For
be
the audio listeners, his front knuckle right next to his thumb is completely rounded off. It's like a ball. Like it's so swollen.
So when
up,
I make a fist, yeah, that's where my knuckle is.
Is it bad for you to be doing all this?
No, I'm supposed to be like doing some.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said that. So you're kind of just like forming it.
Yep. I'm making sure it doesn't get stiff.
Fuck, dude. I can't tell if your middle knuckle there for your middle finger is swollen.
It's
too,
a little swollen
or if it's just
too,
always
yeah.
that.
It's a little swollen, but it's usually like that.
It makes that front knuckle look even worse.
It's like,
but yeah,
way
dude,
down here.
You look like you're like blowing up. Like you're gonna turn purple, and we're gonna roll you out with Oompa.
So it was probably about 3 times as swollen, about like that.
Yeah.
And like the back of my hand was like this, so you can still tell there's bruising there.
Oh yeah. Fuck, dude.
It was all the way green.
Yeah. Oh, it's looking at it like this, you could see bruising all around the side and right there.
And between my fingers, the top of my fingers is still bruised.
Damn, dude. That's like, that might even be like nerve damage too. If it's stemming all throughout.
Yeah, it was real gross.
Fuck. For the audio listeners, his shit's fucked up.
Jesus Christ.
Did he rip one?
Oh my God! Right in my mouth.
Jesus, I'm sorry, man. Walter, dude. Oh, I smell it now. I do.
What the
For the audio listeners and the people at home.
He's directly under me. I cannot. I was gonna blame you at first.
No, that definitely
Jesus,
was not me.
No, that's a Walter fart.
That is a dog fart. That is a dog fart.
He just sleeps right through it like a fucking asshole.
He don't even care, dude. He don't even care.
All right, what else we got going on?
Well, that's what I thought of leaving Neverland. It's definitely worth watching. I'd like to get your opinion on it too. I'd like to see what you think. So go ahead and watch that. Other than that, the last thing for movies isn't a movie at all. It's not even a TV show. It's a fan-made trailer.
Oh yes.
That we watched right before this because I mentioned it to you, and you're like, "Fuck it, let me watch it. We'll talk about it." And it is essentially a fan-made trailer for a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot entitled Bel-Air. You can watch it on YouTube. It's gone viral. I saw it a few days ago, but then yesterday evening, or no, it was this morning, I saw an article writing about how this trailer, this fan-made trailer, went viral. So I was like, fuck it, let's talk about it. So we watched it, and it looks pretty fucking good.
It's awesome.
Like on my first viewing, because I saw it before you did, before I even clicked on it, I saw what it was, and it said Bel-Air fan-made trailer, and I was like, if this is a fucking remake of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this.
I'm surprised it's not a girl as Will.
I didn't even think about that, but you're right. Like Willina,
I could see that,
like played by Willow Smith or something. But I started playing it, and I was like, okay, this is like a dark, and especially the way it starts out. This is like a dark, gritty, like realistic, reimagining of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And I was also then like, I don't know if I like this. I want it to be funny, and there's nothing like Carlton doing his dance and shit.
Right.
But as it went on, I was just like, this is actually kind of fucking cool. I like this. I like this a lot. Like, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is what it was. And I've probably seen every fucking episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the original show, multiple times, not even binging it or watching it later.
Just watching
it in reruns my whole, growing
Oh, no,
up.
I watched a lot of Fresh Prince. It's not even one of my favorite shows of that time.
Yeah.
But like that and Saved by the Bell were probably the two I watched the most just because they were always on.
Yeah, and it was they syndicated it on like multiple different channels too.
TBS
and then it was eventually on Nick at Nite.
Nick at Nite, yeah.
So
because that was like originally when Nick at Nite, I don't know the original because I was too young, but like Nick at Nite when I started getting older, like 6, 7, 8 years old, it was like the Munsters, Bewitched.
Yeah.
And then it like kind of turned into like the Wonder Years and
See,
which I love the
There's
Wonder
an
Years.
evolution. Like every decade, it turns to like the next decade
Full House,
from the last one. See, when I started watching Nick at Nite when I was a kid, it was playing like I Love Lucy, Honeymooners, all black and white shit.
I don't remember Honeymooners.
It was essentially TV Land.
Yeah. TV Land turned into it. Yeah.
And now TV Land is even like 70s and 80s shows, There's probably even a couple like 90s like B shows and shit.
That's like, so my favorite show when I was a kid was The Munsters.
Yeah.
It was all black and
Munsters
white.
is great. I like the movie too.
Was the movie in color?
Yeah.
I never watched it. I remember watching it, but like not remembering it. I was probably a kid, so I was bouncing off the walls.
Movie was super silly, but it was well done. I liked it. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so it might not hold up.
The Munsters was great. But yeah, so that's what happened is this is like turning into our TV Land with Fresh Prince and Full House and even like just throwing them out there step by step and
step by step, day by dude. That's just a legitimately good song on its own. That's like an 80s, late 80s, early 90s song you hear on the radio.
I think that's like an early 90s
and
show.
The guy who sings that song and did those songs did like a lot of fucking. Like he did, I think he did the Family Matters song too.
Family Matters,
he did fucking Full House.
That's what I was gonna say. He's the Full House guy, but I didn't want to sound like an idiot.
Yeah. Whatever happened? Yeah, that fucking guy sang. Wow, that guy was banking.
Yeah.
In the 90s.
That dude is living large.
He literally was Jesse and the Rippers from Full House because they made jingles and shit.
They made jingles, yeah. Jesse and the Rippers.
Wow. I never put all that together, but that's amazing. But now I just want to sing fucking Step by Step. But no,
I used to
have
a huge crush on all the chicks on Step by Step.
Yeah,
even Suzanne Summers,
the blonde older sister.
The brunette was my favorite.
The younger sister?
The middle sister.
Middle sister.
She was like, she almost looked kind of a little Asian. She wasn't. She just had like squinty eyes like I do.
I think I know who you're talking. I thought she was, she had like she wasn't like, she almost looked like she was maybe a little Latin. She had like a darker skin complexion, darker hair.
She didn't look like she belonged.
Because she was in other stuff in the 90s too as she got older, and she got even better looking. I remember who you're talking about.
There she is.
Which one there's all about? Oh, her?
Yeah.
No, she's not the one I was talking about. She was.
I don't even remember her.
As older she got. But no, I forgot about her. She was definitely the one.
She was the one,
She was kind of the dumb one.
Yeah.
She looked a little bit like Winnie Cooper. She does
She
have
does.
like a little bit of.
Yeah.
She looks a little Asian. Like her mom was Asian, her dad was.
She was good looking. Blonde was hot in like a different way. Like she looked like a normal chick. Like not on TV.
Yeah.
She was good looking.
She dated on that show. She ended up dating the oldest brother's best friend on the show.
The dude with the mullet.
Yeah, his best friend on the show was, I believe his name was Jason Marsden. He was the voice of Max in a Goofy movie. He does like a lot of voice acting now. But his brother is James Marsden, Cyclops from X-Men and
all
kinds of things. Yeah, like so yeah, that dude was in like everything.
You're like a fucking encyclopedia. I can never
like
remember their name.
Dumb, useless
information. That's what I am with
Yeah.
like UFC and fighting and shit. Like I'll pull
Yeah.
like, oh, that was UFC 72.
Yeah,
Like, why do I know that?
Dude, I kill at trivia. I'm sure I kill
I'm
at
a good
trivia.
Yeah.
When it
Oh,
comes to
speaking of, we
certain
won. Me, Earl, Josh, and Jared.
I saw a picture. I was like, good for you guys. I was
Out of
like, fuck you
15
guys for
teams.
not inviting me. I would have won it for you. But whatever.
There's a lot of shit you would have got. I was kind of like the pop culture guy of the group. Yeah. So like they played.
So I would have
like,
been stepping on your toes.
a little bit, but it's a team. There was like a round that was all movie clips talking about pie. Weird, I know. There was, I think, 8 questions, and one was like a line from American Pie. You had to name the movie.
I knew American Pie had to be in there somewhere. I'm just trying to think of other movie
There
scenes
was
I know
a part-
about pie.
There was a part that they talked from Stand By Me, where the fat kid eats all the pies and throws up everywhere.
Okay,
and they didn't know that,
How did I
so
forget
that was
that?
one I got. And then there was a clip from Sweeney Todd. Speaking of Johnny
Oh,
Depp.
of course. Why didn't I think about that?
It was a musical, and I didn't recognize the song, but I'm like, okay, it has to be from Sweeney Todd.
Yeah, even if you didn't recognize the song, you'd probably hear it and be like, that sounds like a Sweeney Todd
Yeah,
song.
it did. It sounded like a Sweeney Todd song. So that I mean, they're good with like, especially Earl. Like he knew like history questions that like none of us would know. And Jared knows geography, and Josh knows a little bit of everything.
See, that's what you need. You need like a team.
It was, and we fucking killed it. And we all know sports pretty well. Especially, I mean, those 3 know sports better than I do.
Yeah, see, I would not be good at that at all.
So it was really fun. I got a Childish Gambino song that they didn't never heard.
Nice. What song?
Redbone.
How have they never heard Redbone?
That's a great
It's
song.
in movies.
Yeah.
It's probably his most popular song ever.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
That whole album was good.
I thought it was funny. I read a meme that says they said he's the only guy that people respect enough to call him Childish Gambino when he's rapping, and
Donald Glover
when he's acting.
Yeah.
So, that's a good point.
He'll always be Troy Barnes to me.
Is that his
That's who he was
real
on
name?
Community. No, his real name is Donald Glover.
His real name is Donald Glover?
Yeah. My brother always... I can't bring up Donald Glover without him calling him Dong Glover. Because apparently
It's a very Jared thing to say.
The story is he told in an interview one time that he started signing his name Don Glover because he thought it seemed more like grown up instead of Donald Glover. And he said until he started realizing that it looked like he's writing Dong Glover. Because it kind of all just ran together. I was like, that's a good point. My brother brings that up every time I bring him up.
Dong Glover.
Yeah.
Dong Glover.
I'm a big Dong Glover fan. His movies are good. His TV, I don't know if you ever watched Atlanta. His show, Atlanta.
Yeah, everybody says it's good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the going back to the Bel-Air fan-made trailer, I definitely would love to see something like that. It was like a mix between Fresh Prince, obviously, and like Boys in the Hood or something. Like, it was very serious, very like realistic. There wasn't like, even Carlton was like, he wasn't like a little brat. He was more like a rich asshole.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like, he's not the goofy Carlton we all know.
He's like a little prep asshole.
I mean, Aunt Viv looked good. I'm assuming that girl that Uncle Phil was talking to at one point was Aunt Viv. And when it comes to the old show, there were 2 Aunt Vivs. Mm-hmm. The original Aunt Viv, smoking hot. She was a fox. She had the best fucking body I've ever seen on an older woman, probably.
Yeah.
Second Aunt Viv was a fucking old lady.
Yeah, I remember.
Dressed like an old lady.
Yeah, she
had the
wore
weird,
like the moo-moos.
yeah, like always
real
had
baggy stuff.
Yeah, walked around like.
not muumuus, but like real baggy like shirts and silk shirts.
Like shit older ladies wear to church and shit.
Yeah. Yep.
I like the casting choices for everybody they had in there. You didn't get to see everybody. Your complaint was
no Jeffrey.
You didn't see Jeffrey, which would have been nice to see. I didn't even realize you didn't see Jeffrey. We might have saw him and just didn't realize that was him.
That was him.
But I didn't like.
Maybe they couldn't find a British guy.
Well, that could be. I didn't like the guy playing Uncle Phil, and you're like, I don't know, there's nothing wrong with him. Oh yeah, Uncle Phil's a lawyer and shit, right? Or no, he's a judge.
Judge, yeah.
And so I guess he doesn't have to look.
Which technically is a lawyer.
But oh yeah. Aunt Viv was a lawyer, I think. But then I brought up to you, like, there's episodes in which they talk about Uncle Phil's past, where he was kind of a badass. He was very political. He was like a black.
Like the pool shark one, where he used to hang out in the pool holes.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. Hustling people. He had to save Will's ass and shit. But like, and then there was episodes where he had to like put Will in line and like overpower him. Like at one point, I think he even choked Will up or like
yoked him up. Yeah.
Did something, like overpowered him. And the
guy
that was
big
playing
motherfucker.
Uncle Phil,
he was like 6'4".
Yeah, James Avery,
350.
Big fucking dude for sure. Always has been. But he just couldn't pull off shit like that.
No, he was a little guy, a little old guy.
But then I cracked the joke that like, this is probably going to get picked up. It went viral. People are going to be like, we like this. Kind of like Deadpool. That's how Deadpool happened. Like, we like this. But they're going to recast everything. Watch. And then fucking, it's going to be Michael B. Jordan playing Will Smith. And then, I forget what else
Carlton's going to be,
Carlton will be Kevin Hart. That's what I said, yeah.
Dude, that is spot on, too.
That's probably what they'll do.
From the trailer, if you got from the trailer, it's spot on.
And he's just going to play Kevin Hart if he was a spoiled rich kid,
Yeah,
and then Michael B. Jordan's just going to be Michael B. Jordan.
Which is, I'm a badass.
Yeah.
I'm a badass.
Look, what I ain't moving with Mr. Uncle Phil? Like he always like does that little like push his chest out and shit and like gets all angry. Like, I don't even believe it. Like, I don't even believe him anymore.
He's not even intimidating whatsoever.
I guess we're just going to hate on Michael B. Jordan. This show hates on Michael B. Jordan. Let him know. Anything to get us out there.
My next fight, I'm calling him out.
Oh, my God, do it. Do it. You should call out Mr. Hollywood, too. Be Mr. Hollywood? You're calling out yourself at that point. And nobody gets that joke but me and you. But, yeah. I'd watch it. Just don't cast Michael B. Jordan and Kevin Hart.
Please don't. Speaking of, I watched the new Jumanji. Not a fan.
Really? You didn't like it?
No.
Oh, well, maybe people hyped it up for you too much.
I don't know. I just thought, like, it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. Like, the first one, my biggest complaint about the movie was there was the lack of animals in it. In the new one?
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that.
It was more about not getting killed by the people than it was the animals.
The people or like the activities and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe there were no animals because they all got unleashed on Earth in the first one. That doesn't.
No, they got sucked back.
No, it's a video game. Everything was spawning, so they pretty much just like
there was the first part with the hippos, and then
if you think about it, none of that was really They weren't really in a jungle. They were in a simulation. I never really thought about it.
I just didn't. I thought there was a lack of animals, and like the first one, besides the guy with the gun that comes out, like all the danger was from the animals.
Yeah, you're right.
The stampede, the lion, the mosquitoes, the spiders.
Yeah.
What else? There's even a part with hippos.
Yeah. Well, there was a part with hippos in this one too, but it was very quick.
Crocodile. Was it a crocodile or a hippo in the original? I think it was a crocodile.
I think it was a crocodile. Yeah, it was swimming through the house, I think.
As
when the house was all crumbling apart.
Or
Yeah.
the street. Yeah, there was just the monkeys.
Oh, yeah, even the kid turned into a monkey. They didn't turn into shit.
No. I don't know. I just didn't. I feel like every movie now it turns into a fucking love story. And that's like.
Oh, yeah.
It turned into a love story, and I'm like,
there's
okay,
like two
enough.
love stories simultaneously going on, but like in the end, one love story would have turned out to be pedophilic if anything happened to it, because the dude was like much older and she was in high school.
Oh yeah, there was two love stories. Yep.
Because it was Colin Hanks.
It was. It turned out to be. It was first. It was Nick Jonas, and then it was Colin Hanks.
I guess if they just made it like, if they would have titled it anything else, kind of like Ghostbusters, it would have been better. I liked it though. You just didn't like it mostly because it was Jumanji. It said it was Jumanji. It was
Jumanji and had lack of animals. Yeah.
But if it wouldn't have been called Jumanji, you probably would have been like, that wasn't bad. That was nice, fun.
It was a fun family movie that I can watch with my daughter.
Gotcha. No, I didn't think about it really.
So the next day, I had the DVD at my house, and the next day she's like, "Ooh, let's watch this." I was like, "Yeah, let's watch this." So I turned it on the Fire Stick, and I turned on the original Jumanji. Oh. And I was like, "You like this?" And she's like, "Yeah," but she's like, "Where are these 4 people at?" I'm like, "They're coming. Don't worry." You
underestimated her, Jeffrey.
Yeah. She's getting smart. That's the problem. She's getting too smart for her own good.
Dad, where's The Rock?
She goes, "Where are these 4 people?" I'm like, "Oh, they come at the end." And then she ended up falling asleep. I was like, whew, dodged a bullet.
She's like, I missed them. Yeah, well, we can't watch it again. It's a one-time deal.
So, but yeah, dude, that's all I got.
All right. I got a couple more things. You want to keep going? We saw Coheed in Cleveland.
Oh, forgot about that.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now at this point. You had a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, but it was perfect. It was perfect timing for me because it was like it was something fun to do before the fight.
Yeah, so like a little break.
Yeah. Dude, that was a great concert.
It was, dude. It was so much fun, dude. Being at the Agora is a good place to see anybody, I think. Yeah. The sound didn't sound that great. Like, I mean, it sounded good. It was a good show. I was having fun. I could hear it, you know. Mm-hmm. It's just, I've heard them much clearer. Like, they were crystal clear at other shows. They sounded a bit...
They sounded more clear the first time I saw them at the Agora.
Yeah. Like, maybe just like a bad sound guy or something, you know what I mean? Like, it just seemed like... It was just like muffled.
A little muffled, yeah.
Maybe it was our location.
Yeah, that might have... Because I was on the opposite side last time.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, so maybe that had something to do with it.
I didn't pay too much attention anytime we moved around because we did attempt to go on the floor.
We did. We got stuck.
It was funny. You were up front. You were leading us essentially. We were convinced to go down there by a friend who said, "Oh, there's a little bit of room for you guys."
Yeah.
We didn't know that we had to walk through the entire fucking crowd to get to the front.
Everybody's just looking at us like, "Where the fuck are you going?"
4 by 4 foot space, if that. Like 4 by 2.5 foot space, and we get about halfway there, and Jeff just walking sliding through, and then he just kind of stops, and then he just looks back at me and goes, "I'm stuck. I don't think I'm gonna make it." Just looks around for a minute, and goes, "I'm turning back," and like, which obviously means we're turning back because we're behind you. So I'm like,
they shut it down. And like, I'm just standing there stuck, and the one guy looks at me and goes, "That didn't work out, did it?" And I was like, "Nope, did not."
I remember that. I remember you going, "Nope." So no, I immediately turned around because my friend Mo showed up from Detroit, and she brought a friend of hers with her, and they were behind me. So I just turned around. I was like, "All right, let's kind of go. Yeah. Let's go back." And
not working out for us.
As we got back to the steps to take us back up to the platforms and shit, the one guy was just like, "Back so soon, huh?" Or no, I think he said like, "That didn't take long." But yeah.
Besides that, it was a great show.
Yeah, we got our spot right back.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I was very surprised about that. How about those that younger couple that literally we're standing there and there's no room and they just cut right in front of me. I'm like,
yeah, just get right in front of us, kind of take like all of our kind of like arm space.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, now I am literally bumping into this dude's ass.
Yeah. Like I did think that was strange. It was like, oh, look, there's 3 inches of space. Let's get in there.
Yeah, I'm like, that is not how this works, buddy.
Like, don't you see how big this dude is? Like,
I almost said something like, hey, that's not going to work for me.
You did kind of say something you just didn't say to them. You kind of looked at me. It was like, I don't even remember what you said, but you're kind of like, dick move or something.
Yeah, that's what I said. I was like, what a dick move.
But like I said, the Agora, there's really no bad spot in there. You just kind of got to deal with dickheads like that, I guess. But
that's what I'm heading back there in a couple weeks to go see Dance Gavin Dance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so nice. Pretty excited about that.
Cool.
Got to get those tickets today.
When is that?
I think the 14th.
14th of April?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. I think.
Right.
Whatever day it is.
Yeah, it's a little less than a month away. That's nice.
I believe it's
I've heard Dance Gavin Dance. I think the way
No, not the 14th. It's maybe the 2nd.
Oh shit!
I don't know. I have to look it up, but I have to get tickets tonight for it. So I'm excited for that. But
Nice.
I thought Coheed. I liked their playlist a lot this time. They played some new shit that I'm not familiar with, and I really enjoyed it. I felt like you said, you already brought up the sound wasn't as good. It was still good. It wasn't as good as I heard them in the past.
Yeah, I've heard.
And the lighting, it was awesome, but it wasn't as good as the last time.
For as simple as it was, it really highlighted them. Like it went really well with what they were playing. How things were going. It lit them up real nice.
I thought last time it did it a little bit better.
Yeah.
But essentially, I enjoyed this concert just as much as any concert as I've ever went to.
Well, I feel like because they're coming back to Columbus, I think it's like May.
Yeah, late May.
Something like
May
that.
20th.
And we plan on going. I think that's the big tour.
Yeah.
That's with two really well-known bands.
Who's it with?
Mastodon and Every Time I Die.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited.
That's going to be a killer show. That's going to be a way more, like, crazy show.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot more going. There's going to be a huge pit, I'm sure. It's going to be a much bigger venue.
We might have to stay down there that night because I don't know if I'm going to drive back 2 hours.
Columbus is kind of far. And but I feel like they'll probably have a much more elaborate setup going on. And it's going to be I'm hoping they play some harder tunes.
Yeah.
Like
it's an outdoor, so...
And Every Time I Die in Mastodon is a much harder band, and I'm sure they're going to have a much...
I shouldn't say very hard, but they are much harder than
crowd
Coheed.
That's very much there for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they might play, a couple...
Is Coheed headlining?
I'm not sure. It seems like it.
That's going to be a long day.
When it comes to those three bands, I don't know who I would say would be the headliner.
I would say Coheed should be the headline.
Yeah?
I would. Yeah.
I feel like Mastodon and Every Time I Die have more mass appeal. Like, Coheed's kind of like a... Like, I love Coheed more than those other two bands, don't get me wrong. But Coheed definitely is like... They set themselves apart from, like, most other bands. So, like, it's kind of hard to fit them in a box. The other bands, like, they're metal bands.
Yeah.
Coheed, it's hard to really describe Coheed.
Yeah, I wouldn't
describe them as metal. They have metal elements, especially in their earlier
guitar,
days. But they're more like
stuff,
progressive rock.
Yeah, they're a little bit of everything, like alternative, metal.
My point is it's hard to dwindle it down.
Yeah, you
Mastodon
can't,
and Every Time I Die, those
are metal bands.
Yeah.
Especially Mastodon, I think is more of a metal band than anything.
Like they might have weird little stuff. Like Every Time I had like a metalcore band or like some weird millennial
genre. And I don't know, but I gotta get those tickets too as soon as my Reebok money comes in.
That's so cool. You gotta feel cool saying that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's supposed to come in next week, so I'm hoping when that comes in, I'll get it. Our tickets, because I'm taking a little bit of that money and spending it on. If I would have won the fight, I would have got the computer and did all that.
I wanted to do. About that. Because you haven't talked about it lately.
Probably not going to happen until next one.
I gotcha.
Or I get a badass sponsor or something.
I gotcha. Yeah. That would be badass. Hopefully we can get a fucking sponsor one day.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody who gives a shit, let us know. But yeah, Coheed was great. Well, before we stop talking about that, I'm going to put out a little compilation of all the little footage I got. I'm going to put our little...
I was wondering when you
pre-show thing. Yeah, I figured I'd wait until we did this and talked about it, and then I might even like clip this out and put this in there at the end because we did a talk at the beginning. Then
like driving into Cleveland.
Yeah. And I'm gonna throw your training stuff too because we stopped at Strong Style for a minute, just a little music montage. I'll probably use Coheed in the background since it's fitting.
Perfect.
Hopefully, I shouldn't get a copyright strike for that. I post shit on my Coheed channel all the time.
Right.
So so look forward to that, people. And then, that's really all I got. The only other thing is I had an idea for a segment, and I figured I'd do it this time, and then maybe next time if you have one, we could do it. Yeah. But it's called Things I Learned This Week. Something I didn't know that I learned a couple days ago was the WWE title belt, the last few anyway, and the one currently, the Universal and the
The Daniel
SmackDown.
Bryan?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if they made the Daniel Bryan one.
Okay.
But just the designs of the last few and the most recent ones aside from Daniel Bryan. Do you know who those are made by? I did not know this, and I just stumbled across a YouTube video that was made years ago when they first designed the belts they're using currently. And actually, I think it was the SmackDown. What is the SmackDown title now? Because the Universal title was now. But it was Orange County Choppers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
They they didn't design it. Like the
They
WWE
fabricated
guys designed it and then sent them the PDFs, and then they converted those PDFs into like whatever the system is that cuts the metal to precision and shit. They cut the holes for the stones and shit. They made the whole belt. They stained the belt black. You know, I didn't know that.
I had no idea either.
That's the shit I learned this week. There's a video on YouTube showing them do it.
I'm gonna have to watch that because I like watching shit like that.
Maybe I'll throw the link in the description.
Definitely throw the Bel-Air link in there as well.
Oh, I will. Not only that, YouTube loves it when you put other links to other YouTube videos in the description
because it keeps you down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, they love that shit.
Yeah.
I actually read that they won't put you in the search queue when the people type you in to find you. You won't be, or even the subject. Like, let's say we talked about UFC Fight Night 147, and I put that in somebody typed that in to find it. They wouldn't put us in there, or we'd be very, very late in the search engine, even though we just put this out, and it's like exactly what we're talking about, because our video links to pages like Amazon, or that takes you away from YouTube.
Oh, so okay, that makes sense.
So that's why I stopped putting like that. Like, all I do is put like timestamps, or I'll post videos that are also on YouTube.
It's a good idea.
Little look behind the curtain there, people. That was kind of a look behind the curtain episode.
Yeah.
Essentially with you and this.
Yeah.
And you got to get up and get something to drink and shit.
Which I'm heading back for as soon as the camera stops rolling.
Oh yeah, but that's all I got. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this an episode, dude. We are just under 2 hours.
Perfect.
So
we did it. 2 hours with just us.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't quite make it. We're gonna be a little short too with a little bit of beginning stuff.
Yeah, it's all right though.
But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Jam Up, Jeff and Mark's Untitled Podcast number 25. We're a quarter of the way to 100. Don't forget.
This is the first episode I haven't had a hat on. I feel very naked right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you mentioned that earlier. I didn't think about it. No. Maybe I can put one in there. Just put like is there any
make it like a macho
hat?
Man big cowboy hat.
I'll see if I can do that. If I didn't, I'm sorry, people. I'm not as good as I should be. But yeah, Jam Up number 25. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. That's pretty much all I got.
That's all I got.
Anything you'd like to say before we go? Anything?
Hogan must pose.
Hogan must pose.